Number 20 on my fantasy playlist. We're halfway up my fantasy playlist of August 10th, 1985. It is Freedom by Wham, up 3 from 23. Freedom and a super crisp, sweet pop record, up-tempo pop record, sort of reminiscent of the Motown, some of the Motown records of the mid-60s. Freedom by Wham, Andrew Ridgway, and George Michael. George Michael wrote this song when he was 19 years old. He had an epiphany. He sat down, he wrote the song, and he was absolutely thrilled. He thought to himself, I'm a writer. I'm a songwriter. I can't believe I just wrote this. From now on, I'm going to take myself seriously as a songwriter. And that's what happened. Freedom by Wham. First, the video, gosh, vivid memories of watching this video on Night Tracks back in the summer of '85 when they were performing in China. The video was shot in China, or featured footage from their concert in China. Wham was the first pop band, the first Western pop band to play a concert in China. That was no small feat. Not in 1985. China's still relatively isolated back then. Not like it is now, but still. Freedom by Wham. It was released in England in the fall of 1984. It went to number 1 in England. Released here in the States in the summer of '85. Went to number 3 here in the States. George Michael and Andrew Ridgway, they were in a band called the Executives. And that band broke up. And they formed Wham in 1981. They signed a lousy contract with Intervision Records. And they put out their debut album called Fantastic. It yielded 3 or 4 top 10 British hits, including Bad Boys and Wham Rap. There were some throwdowns, some jams right there, some flashy jams. But where's the money? Where's the dough? We should be making thousands. We got all these big hits in England. And we're having to ask our record company for money to buy clothes and stuff. That's not right. Well, eventually, Wham, George Michael, and Andrew Ridgway, they opted out of the contract with Intervisions. But in order to do that, they had to sacrifice the revenue. Most of the revenue they made from what little they got from their first album. And then they signed a deal with Epic Records, and didn't look back. Not looking back at number 20, that's for sure. It's heading up on my fantasy playlist. August 10th, 1985. Freedom by Wham.